Welcome. Here is a rundown of war in Ukraine. Zelensky, Ukraine needs decisions on deliveries of modern tanks. Kyiv needs decisions on real deliveries of modern tanks, President Volodymyr Zelensky has said. Speaking in his nightly address, the Ukrainian leader said, discussions must be concluded with decisions. Decisions on real strengthening of our defense against terrorists. Allies have the required number of tanks. When the needed weighty decisions are made, we will be happy to thank you for each weighty decision. The comments come as all eyes remain on Germany and whether it will give its approval for Poland to send German-made Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine. New York Times, Pentagon to increase artillery production by 500% for Ukraine. The United States Army's top acquisition official told the New York Times that U.S. production of 155mm shells would increase to 90,000 a month within 2 years. The massive rise in production is meant to both make up for shortfalls caused by Russia's war in Ukraine and to build up stockpiles for future wars, according to the New York Times. Before Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine on February 24, the U.S. produced 14,000 shells monthly, sufficient for the American military style of war, the New York Times reported. But with both sides in the war in Ukraine firing thousands of artillery rounds a day, the Pentagon is aiming to boost production by 500% to meet Kyiv's needs in fighting Russia. The move is part of the most aggressive modernization effort in nearly 40 years for the U.S. defense industry and will involve expanding factoring and finding new producers, the New York Times reported, citing an Army report. And Zelensky, Russia preparing new wave of aggression. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky warned in his evening address that Russia is preparing for a new wave of aggression and is increasing military activity near Bakhmut and Vuhledar in Donetsk Oblast. Russia is preparing for a new wave of aggression with the forces it is able to mobilize. Now, the occupiers are already increasing the pressure on the Bakhmut, Vuhledar, and other areas. And they want to increase the pressure on a larger scale, Zelensky said. In order not to recognize the fallacy of aggression, the Russian masters want to throw more of their own people and equipment into hostilities. After an offensive operation in January, Russian forces managed to break through Ukrainian defenses in Soledar, just north of Bakhmut, and seize the industrial town. Russia hopes capturing Soledar will allow it to encircle Bakhmut.